Ladies, I'll ask you both, how was it coming in? How did you feel in terms of preparation?
I felt very strong during this prep. I made a lot of progress on squats, and so I felt very confident going into this meet. I was bulking up, so no problems with like weight cut or anything. I was recovering very well, and yeah, just felt really strong and really good.
Yeah, I felt pretty strong as well. I was pretty vocal about how strong I was feeling. It was a different competition to come into because it was the first time I felt threatened. I think last year I felt a huge sense of competition, but I didn't feel threatened, but I felt pretty threatened this year by how well Agata was coming into this comp, and that was a new feeling that I had to kind of deal with. So that was something different.
Body weight wise, you guys both weighed in a little bit low. What happened there?
My scale is kind of off, and I thought I was over 76 kilos at 3 p.m. So I pretty much didn't eat almost anything all day long. And then it turned out that I was 75.3. So that was weird. I also didn't really have to cut for this competition because I only managed to get up to like 76 point something with my body weight. So I didn't do a big cut, so I kind of thought I was on the line.
Nothing different with the cut this time. It all went the same. I ate today, probably managed to get like almost 2,000 calories of like sugar and like so I was pretty fine, and I was surprised at how light I weighed as well. But yeah, it's so fresh, you know, you don't know how much that played, whether it played anything into what happened with me.
How about the squats? Your squats, well, all your lifts are constantly improving. Tell us a little bit about the day itself.
Yeah, so about the squats, I really hoped I could go for the junior world record, which is currently 210. So I would have to hit 212.5. I hit a pretty comfortable single with 211 in training, but it was just not there on the day. I just felt kind of like not even weaker, but I couldn't get as tight under the bar. So like, and I couldn't brace very well because I felt like I was gonna throw up all the time. So it was not the day I wanted on squats, but I think it played out for the best because like I managed to get a deadlift gold later and didn't bump up the world total record by that much.
And your bench press, were previously, I remember having a conversation with you, I think it was the first Sheffield, where you were saying the bench rule, it's killing me, it's really greatly hampering my bench press. And yourself and a lot of ladies are adapting to the rule and working around.
So when the rule was first announced, I thought I was gonna hit depth with my old technique, but I failed 2 attempts at Sheffield, so we knew we had to do something about it, and the only thing that seemed to work for me to get depth was sinking. So at first I was a little bit worried that it would take kilos away, so I only did it on my lighter sessions, but then I started doing it during my heavier sessions as well, and it actually worked great for me. I think it might have helped, if anything, but today my opener and second attempt felt kinda off, like it didn't feel that strong, so I was a bit worried about my third attempt if I would be able to get it, but it ended up being the lightest attempt, so I don't know, I guess I just maybe like got to touch a little better in a better spot, so yeah, that was...
And you were getting 3 white lights.
Yeah, on all 3 attempts, which is pretty cool. I often lift my butt off in training, but I've never had this problem in competition. I don't know if it's because of the bench height. I think the benches at my gym might be a little bit lower, which causes me to lift my butt up, but it's never a problem in competitions.
How about yourself, Karlina, in terms of the squats and bench press?
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was the worst squat session I've ever had. But it truly is. I've never missed 2 squats at a competition before. Warming up, it did feel like not as nice as I would have liked it, but things were moving. The opener was harder than it should have been. But heading in, we thought, you know, at least we're at baseline, you know, at least we have a 230, and that's not what ended up happening. On that second squat, as I unracked it, it felt fine. I was like, this doesn't feel heavy, so I'm good. And so I was quite surprised by what happened, and I almost passed out trying to stand up with that squat. And then it just, as soon as I missed it, I was like, oh damn, the sharks are circling me. That's what it felt like. I was like, I've just let the door wide open. But I had to move on. I had to like kind of just be numb to it and just get on with bench, continue, and take every single kilo that I could from there out. You know, my coach was telling me that we're still in it. I don't know what in it meant, but I was like, I'm going to take it for the best possible scenario. So I was trying to stay really positive and just forget about that traumatic event. But bench was okay. You know, I PB'd on that. I missed my third one. Even if I got it, I think I jumped the press command anyway. So I did. I was like, fuck.
Do you have, what do you think happened with the squat? Was it impacted by travel or you weighed in a little light? Because ordinarily the squat is obviously your thing. You've got the world record.
Yeah. At the moment, I can't see anything that I can blame. You know, I get here early, I recover, I sleep enough, I felt good going into it.
And prep was good leading in. There was no indications.
No, I wasn't going to make any gains, but there was no indication that I would miss a 225. Even my leg, you know, some people talk about like I couldn't feel my legs. Like I felt my legs felt strong, but just my back wouldn't stand up with it. So yeah, it's pretty weird.
I mean, these things happen. People have bad days. It is what it is. By the time this rolled around, you're saying you thought the sharks would be smelling blood. This was a very stacked 76 kilo class. Two-time world champion Jessica Bittner was there, and a young American, Cranen Warford, who ended up putting 25 kilos on her total since American Nationals popped in and became more of a threat than maybe previously anticipated. Were you in your camp at any point? At what point were you thinking, oh my gosh, we might have to defend here?
I think for me, as soon as I missed that, I felt that I was in a defending position. My team was making me feel like I still had a shot, and I think probably that was for the best to keep me as positive as possible. But it wasn't until deadlifts where my coach was saying like, you know, you're trying to survive here. Like you are defending. We need two to defend. You must get these, and so deadlifts was very intense.
Let's talk about deadlifts then. I'll kick it to you first, Agata. Your deadlift progress has been pretty crazy in the last year. Last year's World Championships, as a 76, I think you finished with 240.
Yep, that's right.
Now your deadlift in prep for Sheffield and these Worlds. At one point you made a post saying, I think I'm turning into a deadlift specialist. What's happened?
I've been making pretty great progress on my deadlifts back in 2022, but then I hit stagnation. Then I hurt my right abductor after Junior Worlds in 2022, and so I couldn't really pull sumo for a few months because I just ignored it for 2 weeks, just hoping it would go away. It did not, it just got worse. Then I had to lower my frequency on deadlifts to pretty much 3 times a week, which is pretty low for me because I was used to deadlifting 6 times a week, and so my technique felt off all the freaking time. And my back hurt for pretty much the entire 2023. I was able to get over with it for Sheffield 2024 prep. So I had a pretty good deadlift prep going into Sheffield, but the technique was still not my old technique that I lost. So then after Sheffield, I talked to my coach. I told him, hey, I think it would be beneficial for me to go back to SBDing 6 times a week. So he was like, okay, let's try this out. We have a lot of time. If anything goes wrong, we can just go back to lower frequency. It just felt so much better, and now my old technique is back, and it's really good.
You're back to 6 times a week SBD?
Yeah.
Remember we had this conversation, everyone was blown away. I don't think I've ever heard in my life somebody SBD doing 6 times a week. And this is...
Matt Venna did it.
Who?
Matt Venna.
Oh, the Canadian?
Yep.
6 times a week?
Yep. He said it on one of his YouTube shorts, and that's where I got this idea. And I was like, that sounds fun. I want to try this out. I added 64 kilos to my total in just 2.5 months, I think.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
By the time deadlifts rolled around, did you stop, take a look around, and see where everybody was at, see who was chasing you? Were you paying attention to that?
I'm always paying attention from the moment we get the openers. So I checked that. I was like, okay, 2.5 kilos more than Karlina. I think we're in good position. And I just check it throughout the comp. I like seeing where others are at. Yeah, by the time Karlina missed her second squat, I was like, okay, this is our day. We're gonna do this.
Did you think about taking your foot off the gas a little bit for Sheffield to not, well, you didn't extend a lot, but was there thoughts on that? Did you have goals to extend further and that was you taking your foot off the gas and you're like,
So I thought Karlina would come out much stronger. She said she's prepping for 620 and that was what I was prepping for, 620 plus. But I just didn't get as much on squats, so it was obvious we're not gonna go for that. And it wasn't really my goal to hit a lower total. I still wanted to go for a higher total, but I just didn't get as many kilos in.
620 is still on the table for you ladies, I'm assuming at some point in the future. This ain't over.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll ask you now, Karlina, about the deadlifts and the battle of the deadlifts, and it ended up being pretty dramatic. Obviously, Team USA was making a charge that I don't know if you guys foresaw, but she doesn't post a lot, granted. So I didn't know. I've heard rumors that she had made big gains, but 25 kilos is a remarkable feat. And then obviously Jessica Bittner with the late charge.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree with Agata. I was planning for her to be at 620 and for me to be at 620, and every time I would put our numbers, what I thought our numbers would be in the calculator, and it's 620 to 625 every single time. And when I missed my third squat, I was like, oh man, I gave that my everything. And this is not going to be great for deadlifts. In prep, I felt more confident about my deadlifts than my squat. So yeah, man, today just went the complete opposite of what I had envisioned and prepared for. Seeing those numbers, they're quite low for me. It was a little bit of a self-esteem hit. I don't know where I pulled that 245 from, but it took everything that I had. Yeah.
Can you take an element of pride from it, at least, if not from the numbers, how you responded to the situation that you didn't see coming? Because if you saw it coming or came in injured, easier. But when it happens out of nowhere.
Agata did amazing, and she's so strong, and she came with what she had. For me, it was the worst comp I've had in 2 years, probably. And so to do that and to take the silver and take a silver in every single lift and going to Chengdu, that's happiness. That's something that I have to be proud of. I have my family here. There's no way that I can poo-poo myself because my family came all the way to watch me and to see the pride in their eyes, all of that stuff.
I want to ask you about your future, Agata. So 69 kilo class, you didn't win the title, but you beat those ladies who vied for the title earlier. 76 kilo class, you won the title now. Obviously Sheffield World Games, but what is on the table for your future?
Yeah, so I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna go for the 84 kilo world title. I wanna battle it out with Amanda. She got kinda mad when she heard that on the podcast, to be honest. I'm not saying I'm gonna beat her, I'm just saying I wanna go 84, maybe in 2026, and just apply pressure on her. I think it's gonna be good for her because she hasn't had a real competitor in 4 or 5 years since Daniela Melo left. So I think it's gonna be good for her to have someone applying that pressure. So yeah, that's the plan for the future.
Okay, well first off, I was gonna say, all right, let's just get this out here. I picked Karlina, I picked against you. You gave it to me, I deserve to eat my crow.
Yeah, something. She's a wild card. She doesn't hit attempts.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Karlina this year. She might be in the future, but yeah.
You okay? Your impression of me is terrible, but you're paraphrasing it. And you're right. I was wrong, and I was about to say, I will not bet against you again.
Thank you. Yeah, honestly, listening to those previous shows was really disappointing to me because, like, I won Sheffield. I showed that I can go 949. I went 849 so many times in the past, and I've been making a lot of progress in training and posting everything. So, and out of the 3 previous shows that I listened to, it was to White Lights, King of the Lifts, and Sabata Session. Only 2 people from all those previous shows chose me to win, and I was like, come on guys, do better, because I was eating like 4,000 calories at one point to just gain weight, so that was a lot.
Are we ever going to see 69 kilo Agata again?
That's a tough one. I've been thinking about it for example, going back for next year's Sheffield, but I don't know if I will want to put myself through that cut again. It wasn't that bad physically when I was cutting for Sheffield. I wasn't walking hungry or anything, but I hate restricting myself mentally from food. And I don't like doing that. I like eating food, but not even like eating unhealthy very often, because I enjoy my diet. It's pretty healthy, pretty clean food, but just to have that freedom from time to time to go out and eat something.
And is it enticing though with a world record, a world title? So you could be a 2-division world champion. There's not a lot of them. And you decided not to grab that 69 kilo world title. Is that enticing to you or no?
So yeah, that's part of the reason why I was thinking about it, to just go down for Sheffield, stay at 69 for Worlds, and then stay pretty light for World Games to have the advantage of points. I will think about it a little bit more, because getting that world title in the 69s would be pretty cool, yeah.
And then after that, eat as much as you want and go straight to 84.
Yep. That was the plan originally. So yeah, we'll have to think about it a little bit more. I change my mind every day, so we'll see.
Fair enough. And Karlina, how about your future? What are your future plans? Obviously, World Games is there. Possibly Sheffield, we'll see.
Yeah, well, definitely there's World Games and Worlds, and I'll beat Agata to the 84s because I'm competing at 84s at Worlds next year.
Whoa, is that right?
Yeah.
Previously you said you weren't going to.
No, that was always the plan.
Really?
That's also why I was thinking about competing in the 81st next year, because Karlina's going there, so I felt like maybe I should go there too.
It's just because I don't want to cut twice. I don't want to do that. So yeah, that'll be fun. You know, I love Amanda, and I think, like Agata said, I don't think I'm going to beat her, but it'll be cool for her to have some far away competition. I think I'm still going to be 20 kilos away from her. But yeah, I like 84 for Worlds next year. That'll be fun. And then heading into World Games, I don't know what opportunities there are for the rest of the year in terms of Sheffield. We'll just have to see how things play out.
I mean, the 76 kilo class is going to look entirely different next year. I guess no one's sticking around to see how Warford ends up. She showed, amongst the other lifters, was there any surprises? For me, Cranen was a surprise with 25 kilos, and I think she's probably a future star. Jessica hasn't improved on 585, but hopefully she does. We'll see what happens, but I guess that'll be it. You guys move, and the future is whatever we saw underneath you. We're going to shake hands and just agree to move away.
I mean, I still think 76 is my weight class. That's where I feel at home. So it's not like I'm leaving for good. Okay. I just might be leaving for the next year. Or who knows, maybe I will compete as a 76. As I said, I change my mind every day. So
you were 69 and 84 to 76.
Can I do it all at once? Can I compete 3 times, please?
Yeah. But you know what? It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world also if you pursued either 69, U84, and whoever establishes himself as a 76, when you return, it's hot again, it's fun again, champion versus champion, potentially.
But yeah, to your point, Cranen was a big surprise. People were saying on the previous shows that she's gonna make a lot of progress and stuff. Honestly, I didn't think she would make this much progress. And she also, I think she went 949, am I right?
I think she did go 949.
So that's really good. Yeah,
at the world stage.
Yeah, first time competing internationally.
A lot of
Was-
people come from the US and that does not happen.
Yeah, yeah. So I think she has a really bright future ahead of her. Yeah, and yeah, I love Jess. I hope she can beat that 600 at one point.
I would love to see. It's been
Yeah,
a hot
yeah,
minute.
yeah.
She was at 585.
She just needs that last pull to show up.
She's got to start deadlifting 6 times a week.
Yeah, yeah, or switch to sumo. Or
Or
that didn't
switch
go
to
so well.
sumo. How
That didn't go
dare
well
you.
for her.
Yeah, exactly. How about you, Karlina? Any surprises for other competitors for you?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Krenan's squat was pretty crazy, but I think she did she squat 212
She scored
at
212,
her
that's right.
nationals, and it was really easy. And people were talking about nerves and stuff, but
Right.
I don't think so. You could have said the same for me with Worlds being my first last year, and then it was like 9 for 9 as well. There's just something about coming in when people are betting against you that makes you show up. So like when you're talking about the podcast, actually when people were picking me, I was like, oh.
Oh, really?
I was like, no, I don't want to be picked. I want to have a chip on my shoulder. I want to get mad that I wasn't picked. So yeah, we'll see how it grows next year, and then we'll see when we come back.
76ers are healthy again. Well, listen, ladies, I don't want to keep you. You guys cut weight, got to go eat the whole night. So I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Amazing performance.